Hello, I'm Alan Davies. You're listening to the Tuesday Club. This is the Arsenal podcast, and I've got Damian Harris with this morning. How are you, Damian?
Hey, very well.
Midfield general.
Nice to be here.
Up from Brighton yesterday. Well, this is now the morning after Leicester City, the triumph over Leicester City.
Yeah, the domination.
The domination and
of
destruction of the Premiership's weakest 11. And Ian Stone is here.
Hey.
Ian Stone is back. The football is not on at the moment and is available for podcast purposes.
I've just signed a new deal with the Premier League.
How much of the $5 billion are you getting?
That's mostly me.
Does it trickle down to the presenters?
Mainly me, to be honest. It was my demands that pushed it up over the $4.5 billion.
We're going to have to go to £10 million a game if we're going to keep Stoney on the football's on.
Yes. Nice to be back.
The guests are going to want more.
I imagine they would.
This guest is, anyway.
Oh, right, okay. The negotiations start here.
Keith
I wasn't going to do
will
this on the podcast. Keith's going to have what he's having.
That bacon sandwich is payment enough.
Ketchup? You want ketchup as well?
2 different types of sauces, all right? He does fine.
Oh, dear. Now, last night's game...
It's been angry, wasn't it?
Funny because of... It's just funny because of Nigel Pearson. It was roaming around the technical area with his hands in his pockets, and I was reminded of the popular Disney classic Frozen,
Right.
in which the young girl Elsa, because she has this power, if she takes her gloves off, her hands will freeze anything that comes.
Yeah.
He had his hands in his pockets the whole game, as if he took them out, he would strangle someone, and he didn't even want to do it. His hands would just go around someone's neck. It's my hands, my cursed hands.
It was you.
My cursed hands.
It's the Strangler. It's the
It's written
Strangler.
by
Watch
Bram
it.
Stoker or Mary Shelley or something. Stop my hand! They're so strong, they pull his arms forward and they clamp onto the neck of a Crystal Palace midfield.
Yeah.
Scythe down he was.
Side down. We're looking in the paper this morning, and he says he's rang MacArthur, the lad at Palace, and he said he got a text off him,
Right, off.
MacArthur.
Right, saying what? Let go.
Saying,
I have my arm back.
still hurts, bracket sob.
Frowny face.
And I was composing a text back, and I decided to ring him. No, what that means is he was composing a text back, and the hands crushed the phone and splintered it. My hands! I cannot stop the cursed hands! The same gloves, incidentally, as worn by Inspector Gadget on BT Sport. Have you
Right.
seen?
No.
Someone sent me a tweet. Apologies to people. Our Twitter feed for the podcast is at Yellow Boots On. Someone sent me a tweet. Steve McManaman wore a long grey coat and a funny hat.
And a hat.
the
Ah,
other
yes,
day.
that's right.
And holy smoke, he looks like Inspector Gadget.
He does.
He just looks so like Inspector Gadget.
Yes.
And I'm not familiar with Inspector Gadget, but I am now.
Yeah.
And things come out of his hat. It was hilarious. Once
He got a fair bit of stick for that.
1 minute he looks like a murderer with the murderer's gloves, which is obviously now eBayed, and they've been picked up by Nigel Pearson.
The murdering.
And he's now got the murderer's gloves on. And the thing is, I kept thinking, don't fall into the technical area. I honestly started to think it. No one fall into the technical area. He said, he gave an interview, he's trying, because he's trying to be kind of cool and cash.
Well, that's his, yeah.
Slow talking, measured.
Yeah, I'm measured. I'm
Partridge.
composed. I'm much more like a rugby kind of guy. But he's actually a boiling murderer underneath it. When the mask
As it
slips, he
turns out.
kills. He just kills.
Yeah.
He doesn't get in a bit of a spat. He just kills someone.
Get
He's
out,
a slightly
Hector.
strange guy generally. He sits in the stands quite a lot of the time.
Sits in the stands
in readiness
first
for
half.
when he gets sent off.
But that was the George Graham method, wasn't it? Sit in the stands first half, come
Yeah.
down at half time.
Right. So he's trying to copy George Graham.
Being a bit George Graham. And he said that he had been scythed down.
He was sort of scythed there.
But really, a scything suggests a deliberate act,
Yeah, like Matthew Upson on
against
Sanchez.
Matthew Upson, Sanchez.
Oh, yeah.
And usually against crops.
Yeah.
With a huge blade.
yeah. He didn't chop
The
someone's
bloke
legs off.
fell over. He fell
Well-
off the pitch. Players do sometimes fall off the pitch. Don't stand so close if you're really going to get that cross.
And he was cross.
He was
It was
cross.
a little odd, wasn't it? He just held on to him for just a bit
I
too
said to him,
long.
why did you strangle MacArthur? And he said something to me. What, like what? Strangle me. I bet you can't kill me.
Is that what he said? He said
He
something.
said something to him.
Like, yeah.
Like, probably, sorry.
Well, he was smiling, wasn't he, MacArthur? And
MacArthur did very well, as did, I must say, Myler, whatever his name is, of Hull City, when he was assaulted by Alan Pardew in the technical area.
Yeah.
He did pretty well not to knock him out.
Yeah.
And I thought MacArthur did well. And then all this stuff, like Pearson going, I can look after myself. Don't you worry about that. No one was worried. I was up in the stands going, I can't look after myself. Nigel, will you look after me?
MacArthur was scared, though, wasn't he? He was actually looking at him going,
frightened.
Why have you got me by the neck and then you're not letting go of my shirt? I don't understand.
The neck bit was all right because you're going, oh, that was a bit of
banter. That was bants, wasn't it?
Of attempted murder.
Slash banter. It was still smiley murder.
Everything's banter now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, you punch me in the eye. It's a bit of banter.
Bants.
It was smiley.
He wasn't there at the beginning of the game, and Keith goes, "Where's this bloke then?" You know, 'cause we're all looking out for the Strangler. Where's the Strangler? Where's the Boston Strangler? And I said, Keith goes, "He's probably looking in the mirror, going, you talking to me? I don't see nobody else around here. You talking to me?
He's falling into me."
So then when he came out, I've gone, there he is, Travis Bickle. I don't see nobody else. You're talking to me. I'm doing the worst Robert De Niro impression that's ever been done.
It's like having Alistair McGowan sat in the room with
the
him.
first time in my life I've thought I need Jeff Boys with me. Who does an outstanding Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. He does.
Anyway, it was the highlight of a pretty...
It was a decent game.
Dully, it was a decent game. I mean, the wrong team won it. Leicester City played very, very well. I was very impressed by Mahrez. Where's he from, Mahrez? Do you know?
He's French Algerian, maybe?
Is he a friend? Luton.
Luton. Oh, right, okay.
They signed him, I don't know. Anyway, he was very, very thin and little.
He's a lovely footballer. I like watching him.
He's whip it fast.
When he went through, and he curled it round the post.
He missed a couple, didn't he?
Yeah.
By inches.
He had the one in the first half, through the goalie's legs, didn't he?
Yeah.
That was him going through. It was a great ball, but Bellerin got caught, didn't he? It just went in behind him.
It was weird because I suddenly realised when they had Nugent and Ulloa, the Nuge, on the bench, and you're going, well, that's a bit odd. Those are two because the Nuge.
Yeah, but they came for a point.
Well.
They came for a point.
Well, no, they've got a new striker, haven't they?
They
signed Kramaric for quite a lot of money, $9 million.
And he missed a good chance to equalise, didn't he? Let's be fair. Going through, and he tried to chip Ospina.
Ospina wasn't buying that. Ospina did well. He stayed on his feet,
he got
stood
some
up.
stick, didn't he, yesterday, Ospina? He got kicked about a few times.
Yeah, but he did. There was one save he made, low down with his right hand.
That was a good save, that.
That was a strong hand to back that out. He does a lot of one-handed palming away, which is fine.
Sometimes
less Harry Kane's on the end of it.
Old Novocaine, not Harry Shearer, as we call him. Hi, diddly-ho, neighbour. But we'll come to that.
Yeah, okay.
In another life. Yeah. Meanwhile, more importantly, the Leicester game.
Yes.
I'd rather talk about
that. He did all right, and we got a goal from a corner. Ozil had a weird game where he got hassled quite a lot, and he lost possession a couple of times.
They were on him, weren't they? They were on him very quickly. But he must be used to that. I mean, he must...
But then he made 2 goals, and he had the best pass completion rate of either team, and he was involved throughout, consistently wanting the ball on the ball. And so,
but do you think people are getting him wrong? Because there was a bit of anger around. I could feel a bit of anger late in the game when he lost the ball.
Like he looks languid, and it's a terrible look for a footballer.
Well, Berbatov had the same thing, right? And he's never really convinced that any club.
So did Chris Waddle. Chris Waddle looked like he looked like he just got up.
Yeah. That is the problem. What's he going to do about that?
But, the thing is, because you didn't see until afterwards just how good that shot, that little toe poke moment of beauty.
The one that came off.
That led to the corner.
Scored. Oh, right, that one, yeah.
Yeah.
And he sort of jinked past a couple of people. And
he rolled it under his foot. You don't see that enough.
And he sort of toe poked.
Like that.
So watching the highlights again this morning, you realise how brilliant he is. But when it's 2-1... and there's 20 minutes to go and there's a frustrated stadium.
I'm surprised he didn't take... I'm glad he didn't take him off, actually. I thought he was going to take him off.
He leaves him on because he can overall make the difference.
Yeah. And Theo
Arsene Wenger had a record for Arsene Wenger, had his 15th litter of kittens this season. which is a high in his time at Arsenal.
No. But that referee...
Wow, the referee... Now, tell me about this ref.
Which one? The kick in the back?
I must say that it is unusual to turn your back on the ball. As a referee, you have to be aware of where the ball is all the time. At least that. I mean, you need eyes in the back of your head if someone like Suarez is rolling around off the ball. You might be sort of, you know, there's a lot of cheating and deception goes on. Not so much, really. I don't notice it so much this season. There hasn't really been much. There's been the odd simulation here and there, but no big deal. People do things in the heat of the moment, and like James Tompkins did the other week against Everton, he subsequently
embarrassed.
said, I'm embarrassed about doing that.
Fair enough.
You know, that sort of thing. So it's not really a big issue, I don't think, in the Premier League. Look at where the ball is, though. You've got to look at this. So there are 2 incidents where Mark Schwarzer, who's showing his age, let's face it.
He does look a bit old now.
When he's got the ball at his feet in the box, you know, it reminds me of myself playing on a Monday morning. You know, he's a similar age. I'm only 5 years older than him.
Yeah.
Being chased down by someone in their 20s. You've got no chance. They're on you before you haven't got time, Mark.
Yeah.
It's only Giroud, but he's going to be on you. You haven't got time.
He's not even that quick, is he,
And
Giroud?
twice Giroud caught him. And he blasted it against him. And the first time Giroud put his arm up to not the face, not the face.
Protecting the face.
But he gave the handball. It was a handball, wasn't it? It was a handball, and he gave it.
Well, it hit him on the hand.
Well, you know.
So, I mean, it wasn't ball to hand, as they say.
But you would give
his
that.
hand was high.
You would give that as opposed to a throw, which is what it went out for. And I think that is actually the right decision, even though he wasn't looking at it.
He wasn't looking at it. He didn't see it.
Is somebody saying his ear?
The linesman must have.
But the second one, it wasn't the free kick, was it? The ball it was in play, and it was at Schwartz's feet.
No, he was kicking it out of his hand, wasn't he?
And Giroud stood in front of him.
I can't remember.
I think maybe he kicked it out of his hand.
Silent
Maybe
Chris.
he was anyway, the point was Giroud was near him, but he turned his back and he just blasted it into his back.
He did, yeah.
The ref wasn't, as far as I can see, looking at it.
I thought he might have been looking at that one.
No, I
he
didn't
might
think
have
he
been.
And then Schwarzer started appealing. What are you appealing for? Getting your goal. You've just smashed it against someone from 2 yards. You could have killed him. You can't appeal for anything. You are. I mean, he's on the pitch.
Just to take the alternative point of view, if somebody did that in front of a free kick, if someone did that in front
It's
of
not a free kick, though.
But I thought it was in his hand. I can't remember.
You can still charge down.
No.
It wasn't like knocking it out of his hand. He was just in front of him.
I think the referee presumed that's what had happened. I think that's where he made the
He
decision
just got
on
it totally wrong.
He kind of presumed that Giroud had sort of disturbed the kick, but it was after the kick, wasn't it?
Yeah, he hadn't interfered with Schwarzer.
But he booked him, didn't he, for that? Didn't he book
Yeah.
He
him?
booked him earlier, I think, for the other one, the handball one.
Oh, no, I
being
think
too
he booked
handsome.
him for that one.
Yeah.
I think he booked him for that one,
Well,
yeah.
I don't know. I was so busy shouting.
Well, everyone
It was a bit
I don't know what you're doing!
There was a lot of anger, wasn't there? There was a lot of anger,
It was-
considering because I said to Damon, I said, we're winning, aren't we? We're winning too. Well, there seems to be a lot of anger.
I tried to tell Tayo.
It's residual.
Residual
rage.
from
Residual
Saturday.
rage.
I did
A lot of
try.
us weren't there on Saturday, so let's take it out on Leicester.
Residual rage.
Yeah, that's
People
what's going on.
You know, people are very, very hurt, and deeply wounded, and
rightly so.
rightly
Yeah,
so.
well, yeah.
And that's, that's what happens.
Sadly.
But
the referee doesn't look that fit, though, does he?
He was
Whoever he is.
terrible, and then
Mike Jones, is
Ozil
it?
got fouled, and I don't even know his name. Because I
Yeah.
didn't get a
Mike
program.
Jones. I think it's Mike Jones.
Ozil got fouled, he didn't give it, and then there was a lot of ironic cheering.
Oh, I love it.
We love an ironic cheer.
Yeah.
Although, as Keith did point out to you, Stoney, you don't like it in your stand-up.
He did point that out. And thanks for bringing that up. It's very, very funny.
If you are seeing Ian Stone this weekend,
Ironically.
he loves an ironic cheer.
Hey!
That's exactly how you do it. When
That's
he
a good
does
one.
a joke,
I
you
was
just go,
offered-
"Yay!"
I was offered a ticket to see you this
What?
week. I know. Someone said, "Oh, I've got a ticket
saying
for Ian
that-
Stone. Do you want to come?"
No, you're all right.
Yeah. I said,
Where?
I get it raw.
Where?
I get it raw.
You do.
The Comedy Store on Thursday.
Oh, right, he could have come up.
Our ticket's available.
I shouldn't think so.
Right,
Not this
Not
late
usually
date.
for the Comedy Store. Anyway.
Right.
It's very popular.
There you go.
A popular venue.
Um,
Yeah, ironic cheering and general dismay. And then we got away with it, really, didn't we?
did. We
They
did.
missed their chances, Leicester, and apparently they do that a lot. often.
Well,
They
this-
I think they've been a decent team all year, and I
keep-
thought it was going to be a harder game than people said, but we should be. They're bottom
They
of the
spent
table.
9 million on a striker to try and rectify this chance missing issue.
And
he
he
did
hasn't-
take one.
he hasn't scored,
but he
has he?
missed the second one.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
he scored.
Oh, he scored last night.
last
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
but this is it. All the games they've been in. If you
Yeah,
look
they
at their
haven't got
record,
tonked by anyone, have they?
no, they've
Really?
never got
No.
tonked, and it's always been relatively close.
No, I mean, they went down 3-0 at Old Trafford the other day, but I mean, really, generally, they do get. they get a good share of a game, and with Schlupp, and he did say Joe Slow. I'm sure he said Joe Slow, or Jeff Slow. Which I thought was the worst name for a footballer I've ever heard. Jeff Slow?
Yeah.
No, it's just Schlupp.
Schlupp, yeah.
But Schlupp and Mahrez
they got some players.
are good wingers.
They've got some players. And Nugent and Ajoa. I had a big discussion with Alexander last night about why is it Ajoa? It's double L. I said he's from, I don't know where is he, from Chile or somewhere?
From Brighton.
Yeah, they signed him from Brighton.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
so
it's different out there. It's different.
Well, maybe Worthing, but yeah.
Oh, it's different in Worthing.
It's
The
sort of
double L
Worthing,
is
Peacehaven,
a J,
around there.
Right.
And 3 big centre-backs, including a proper beast.
Oh, Robert Huth and Matty Upson.
No, Morgan. I think.
The one with the beard.
Enormous.
Oh, he looks like a heavyweight boxer.
Yeah.
He does.
Is that racist?
Yeah. No.
Society of Black Lawyers.
I don't think you should ask the question.
Why did you compare the black one to a boxer?
Robert
You
Huth.
didn't compare Huth to a boxer, did you?
Huth's enormous.
You compared him to a nuclear physicist. Huth at one point landed on Santi Cazorla and broke him.
Yeah,
he
he
actually
did.
broke him like a toy.
Yeah. And,
Santi got
Oh,
up quite
sorry, I've
gingerly.
trodden on your toy. Well, you can't come to this playgroup again, Robert.
and Upson on Sanchez was
That was a heavy tackle.
Really
Nasty,
heavy.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
that was
heavier
quite
tackle
nasty.
than Upson ever put in his entire Arsenal.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's true.
When he was much more of a stay on your feet, nip it away.
How old
version.
is he now, Upson?
He
He's
must
been
be
around for
40.
years.
Yeah, 48.
He moves like a 40-year-old.
I couldn't believe it. Is that Upson?
Yeah, he did.
Upson,
it was
Power
halfway
Upson.
through the first half. He said, "Is that Matthew Upson?"
No, it was in the second half.
Was
I
it-
didn't notice him in the first half, and,
Oh,
then,
right.
and then I looked at the teams on the scoreboard, and they said Upson.
Yeah.
And I looked over there.
There he is with a
He
beard.
had a massive beard on, so that didn't help.
Yeah.
I said, "Where's that fresh-faced 19-year-old we signed from Luton Town?"
So the
16
next
years ago.
Tony
You
Adams.
know, who got usurped from the club by Pascal Segan. And
You're never going to get over that.
I
are you?
never am. I never.
No, I
never
was talking about
understand
him.
it.
I was talking about him, but fair enough.
or Alan, yeah.
You're
Why did he let Upson go?
because Segan was the real deal.
Segan was more experienced.
Yeah,
Footballer of the year in France the year before.
we had to have a Lee Hurst
bad
lookalike.
bad year for League One.
He was. He had one good season, didn't he? We had a period of signing pretty bad centre halves, though. Let's be fair. Igor Stepanovs comes to mind as well.
Ryan
There's
Curtin.
no one as bad as Mikel Silvestre. Only Squilla.
Sylvester was a fullback, though. Really, wasn't
Silvestre was an extraordinary
he? He
crock of
was bad
shit.
against Messi in the new camp. No, that's not going to work.
Hang on a
that
minute.
can't work.
Alex Ferguson has sold us one.
Yeah. Who is
He
it?
must be. This must be a deliberate. The acts of a saboteur.
It's got to
And
be.
there's no way he'd sell us a decent player. No way.
No.
And sure enough, this
turned out.
absolutely useless bastard turned up. And then we didn't we move him on to Werder Bremen?
Are you left to go to somewhere else?
I think it was Werder Bremen, and
Right.
then they made a complaint. I might be remembering this all
They
wrong.
made a
as I
complaint.
do.
He's shit.
Oh, was it Klaus Allofs? Remember Klaus Allofs, the German international? Anyway, I think
Vaguely.
he is now the technical director, whatever the hell that means,
Right.
at Werder Bremen. And he basically said, "We've been sold a duffer." Well, I'm very annoyed about
Well, you
it.
didn't look.
Open the box.
Sold us scene.
Open the box.
We wrote out a little bit of paper, sold us scene, signed
Our
it.
eBay
gone.
review. When we lost a couple of stars on our eBay review after that.
Right.
Feedback. This was crap. PayPal refund service. We want the Sylvester exchanged for the proper one.
Yeah.
The one that played for Manchester United
Yeah, our
and won loads of medals.
Our Barcelona rating isn't great either.
School Archie was absolutely.
It's another one. We had a few though, didn't we?
Anyway, should we linger on our
Matthew Upson couldn't get in the team in front of any of them.
Well, it was.
That's the problem.
And then later on, it was Sal Campbell and Carlo Touré. And then he says, "I don't want to stand in the way of a 22-year-old, who should be playing. He only got one career and all the rest of it."
Yeah, and off he went.
And he does let people like Stevie Sidwell. But there was a little time, wasn't there, when we had Flamini and Segan and we let Sidwell and Upson go. And I did think, do we want to keep one or two of these lads who really want to play for Arsenal?
Yeah.
And especially with the Flamini one, I thought in the end it turned out to be a mistake because he up sticks at the end of his contract and went to Italy, and I don't think Stevie Sidwell would have done that. But anyway.
That's a real shame.
he would have gone to
It's a
Fulham.
real shame. Firmini and Fabregas together, that worked very well, didn't it?
It did work very well.
Oh, well.
With Fabregas, it would have been nice to bring him on last night when Aaron Ramsey went off injured again.
Again, third hamstring in a row.
It's a bit of a worry. He's only on 9 minutes, and then he
Yeah, but did he warm up properly? I mean, isn't that the
was
point?
warming up for hours.
Well, too much warming up. Then.
Too much.
Try a little bit less warming up. He was so knackered, he did his hamstring as he
But
came
he
on.
was, interestingly, and I did notice this and thought it was a bit odd because it was a cold night last night. And I don't know whether to call him Gabriel, or Paulista.
I think it's Gabriel. Gabriel.
Hard bastard.
But it's not Gabriel, is it?
Anyway, Gabe's.
Gabrielle.
Gabby.
Yeah, we had this discussion.
We did. My
Gabriel.
sister's called Gabriel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even he doesn't know. It's his sister.
Well, we used to call her
If you're a
Gabriel.
boy, it's Gabriel, and if you're a girl, it's Gabrielle, isn't it? With a double L-E.
Gabrielle's the woman with the eye patch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dreams will come true.
Dreams will come true. He was singing it, actually, as he went up there.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was warming up, and I'm quite looking forward to seeing him, and hopefully he'll play in the Cup against Middlesbrough.
I think he will,
weekend.
yeah.
But in his kit, they don't normally, they're normally track-suited up.
That's how hard he is.
It was freezing cold, and he was out there in his shorts and his socks.
So was Vic Akers,
At
incidentally.
least doing like Little Vic. What Little Vic's hamstrings must be like. So he's up and down, Gabriel doing his thing.
Yeah.
At which point, then Giroud and Ramsey obviously thought,
Go and join him.
well, if he's warming up in his shorts,
It was in the first half, though, wasn't it?
we're warming up in our shorts as well. So normally they've got 3 tracksuits on and a long coat, and they're all keeping warm.
Yeah.
Keep warm.
Yeah.
Keep warm. So Aaron should have been, perhaps he should have been wearing a tracksuit bottom.
Maybe Arsene Wenger tells him, and he's like Alexander. I say, you warm enough? Every game, you warm enough? I'm fine, Dad. Honestly, I'm fine. That's what Rambo said
to the skin.
That's what Rambo said to Arsene Wenger. Honestly,
And it seems Sanchez said to him as well, "You all right?"
Sanchez tweeted something along the lines of,
what, the love of football?
I shouldn't have played last night.
I think that's
really.
essentially what he was saying, yeah.
And he played as number 9 and got absolutely battered all over the place.
He's not a number 9, though,
3
is
big
he?
centre halves.
Do you know-
Well, the thing is now, everyone knows what to do against Arsenal. The new thing to do is press us high up the pitch and then harass and press. They know what to do with Sanchez is you chase him and close him down in numbers.
Yeah.
And you harass our people up the other end of the field and win the ball high up the pitch and create chances, and that's what they did.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what had happened to us at YR Lane at the weekend, and what happened to us when we played Spurs at the Emirates earlier in the season when the Tottenham goal came from being harassed around in front of our own back four, a mistake by Flamini. So that's going to be the thing now. That's what Borussia Dortmund did to us as well.
Yeah, but the difference is, say, with the Man City game, we managed to sort of contain that. We weren't damaged by that. But when the ball got to Ozil, Walcott, Santi was on fire in that game and could relieve the pressure.
We kept it for 20 seconds longer.
Well, no, but he kept it long enough to get it out to Walcott or get it out to Ozil, and we managed to look dangerous on the break. The thing in the Spurs game, Santi didn't have a great game at all.
Do we have to do this? Do we have to actually talk about it? I mean, it was really awful.
I mean, he did get harassed a lot in that game, Santi.
Yeah, of course.
Mason was quite lucky, actually, got to pick up a couple of yellows. But he was feisty, and it's a derby, and that's the way you play.
Yeah.
And Bentaleb was similar. And he didn't have such a good game, and they couldn't get it up to Giroud, and Giroud was just doing a lot of whining and waving his hands about.
Why didn't Tommy play? Tommy is such a driving force, and he's been playing well. I can't believe they didn't play Tommy in that game. I mean, I'm surprised, weren't you?
See, that would have made the difference. Listen, in the end, we're a goal up, playing away from home, thinking possibly we're going to do it like we did Man City. The one key difference is Tottenham wanted it a lot more than Man City. They wanted it badly more. And their central midfield pair wanted the ball more, had more hunger and made more challenges than Fernando and Fernandinho have made all season between them.
Yeah.
And so Santi couldn't fulfil that role that you're talking about receiving the ball in his own half, turning, beating someone, relieving the pressure.
Yeah.
He got harassed out of that. Deliberately. It was a plan. They knew that was a threat. You have to get on Cazorla. He makes them tick. And they stopped him playing and he got substituted. But they just wanted it more and they were more hungry. But nonetheless, we did get a goal early on and we were winning at half-time. And then the reason they got back into the game and turned it around was because we just didn't mark someone at a corner.
Well, Rambo switched off and let him go, didn't he, at the back post?
It's absolutely criminal.
Harry Kane, it's not like we don't know what he's up to.
He's their top scorer, he's their main threat. Whose job is it to mark him at corners.
No, it's
Someone's got to have that job.
Well, Rambo let him go. He didn't see him coming in.
He didn't even let him go. He just wasn't looking at him. All Kane did, it's not like, he's a clever footballer, and there's all comparisons with Sheringham and people who are smart rather than, he hasn't got brilliant dribbling skills, he isn't particularly quick, but he's always dropping into space, he's always available, he gets his feet organised and gets his shot off when he's not quite balanced, a bit like Ian Wright used to do. He's got that attribute, he's got all these attributes, he's a very accurate shooter, just like Shearer. So all these comparisons are being made about someone who's genuinely a very, very good striker. But when he scored his goal, he didn't make a sudden move and find space like Lineker might have done.
In the back
he
post.
just walked and stood at the back post. Maybe it'll come here.
Well, he just read the palm off.
If he knows that the corner's coming near post, he knows that the corner's going to go near post. We don't know that. He knows that, right? So he'll think, well, if it's going to go near post, it might end up at the back post. Quite often they do.
Yeah.
Who knew?
And there's not going to be a goal for me on the penalty spot. It's not going there. There's not going to be a goal for me near post. The only place there's a goal for me is at the back post. And there's no one. If someone had gone and marked him, he'd have moved.
Yeah.
But no one marked him. Ospina did okay to palm it.
If he hadn't touched it, it would have been headed off the line, actually, in a way. If he'd have just let it go.
He tried to palm it away from goal. Maybe he should have tried to palm it over, but it's very difficult. Oh, dear Lord. I mean, it's just unmarked.
Yeah, that was really
So
gutty.
that's a disaster, right? Because that's half an hour to go and it's turned the stadium. I was watching it and I was thinking when we were 1-up, this has got 1-1 written all over it. We've had so many 1-1s down there over the years. We had a 1-1 at the Emirates earlier this season. This is going to be another 1-1. But then in the second half, right towards the end, Ben Taleb had about 10 minutes to pick his man out on the ball. No one closed him for the cross.
Do you know what? That whole Sky thing of over-analysing every goal and, watching in slow motion and people... And I'm not really a huge fan of it, but I found myself really quite angry at Theo for
not closing him
just
down.
Standing there. And he frustrates me so much, Theo, at the moment. Last night...
You're talking about not closing Ben Taleb?
Well, yeah, he was just standing
10
there
yards
watching
of space
him.
just across the ball.
And he just needed to make a gesture towards him. He's fast enough.
Yeah,
But
just put him off.
Well, just do something. And he was just hanging back.
Because Koscielny and Mertesacker are in there, and unless he really lands it right on Kane's forehead, there's no goal here.
It's a big forehead to aim for.
It's a big head. It's a massive, great spam of a head.
Yeah.
Right on his head. Good header and everything.
Oh, no, it was. Yeah.
Ah, diddly ho. Thank you, Barry Shearer.
Disappointed because I just don't think we competed as much as we should have done. It's a North London derby. You were talking to me last night about Giroud moaning, holding his back and holding his leg and all the rest of it.
He was getting a lot of...
This is a North London derby.
London derby. You're going to have to belt them first.
Yeah, we were getting... after last night's referee performance, it's always hard to... Because I haven't watched it back and I went on...
Mugabe Media Lockdown.
Did you?
Yeah. Keith hasn't seen any of it. I had to describe to him that
our goal,
the Novocaine fiasco.
Right.
I'm not surprised Keith hasn't watched it.
Oh, he's furious.
Yeah.
He said he had a text. He turned on his phone. He had a text saying we were 1-0 up, and then he's annoyed. I don't know who sent him the text. He's then annoyed that he hasn't had any follow-up texts. And then he found out later that we'd lost the game. So you can't win with him. He doesn't want to know.
No.
But if you don't tell him, he's furious.
No.
Yeah.
I watched it and it was painful.
Yeah,
But
it as well.
I mean, the referee did seem to give them a lot.
He didn't have a great game. But sometimes it happens in derbies.
Oh, yeah.
It's a high-tempo thing.
They got a crowd behind them as well. They're making a lot of noise there.
And when challenges go in, sometimes they just don't get given in derbies.
Yeah.
With hindsight, when he took Cazorla off, maybe that's the time to put Flamini in alongside Coquelin, and because they had a pair of physical players in there, maybe just match up.
Yeah.
And maybe Flamini would have scampered over there to Ben Taleb and put him off that.
Just take the draw. Just take
the draw. A draw's a good result. You've given them a goal. You've let them back in.
Yeah.
You're 1-up. They're playing well. They're attacking us. We're getting terribly badly exposed down the right-hand side. I don't know who's supposed to be covering Bellerin and helping him.
Well, it's Danny Welbeck.
Danny Rose
was it Danny Welbeck?
Danny Welbeck was playing on the right, but he was so far away from Bellerin. 60 yards between them. The midfield three are all playing very close together, which they got a lot of praise for. the other day on Match of the Day, but you've got to cover that side of the pitch. And Rose was coming forward, and he was hitting shots and cross shots and crosses.
He kept finding space, didn't he, Rose?
Because Hector. What's Hector supposed to do about that? By the time he's
exposed, isn't he?
Gone over there, he's got his shot away, he's got his cross away. You can't go out to meet him; he'll get done on the outside. And it was a mess. It was annoying, but still, you're a goal up. 10 minutes into the second half, sort yourselves out. Don't concede a soft equaliser. Because once you've done that, this is the trouble about playing a holding, containing sort of a game and then breaking. When the game shifts around, you're not on the front foot.
No.
You
it was only the last 10 minutes when we really took it to them, wasn't it? Welbeck had that shot. Was well saved by the
a couple of shots, but
not much, not enough. Not enough, considering the talent in the team.
Arse is kicked, mate. Arse is kicked. We've lost games down there over the last few years, and it's been more of an evening out of the two clubs, and it's miserable because for so many years we just pissed all over them.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious.
They do celebrate a bit too much.
Oh, it means a lot to them.
Yeah.
Bless them. And the DVD's probably out already.
The joy, and you're thinking, oh, please.
They're all over the internet, they're all over Twitter and
it's
Facebook.
It's unseemly, isn't it? Don't you think?
It's the shift in the balance of power.
What it is, Ian, it's pitiful.
It is pitiful.
And of course, last night they go to Liverpool and lose.
Yeah, and we're back above them.
They're 2-2 with 5 minutes to go. Shut up, shop, take your point, and they lost it. And
Balotelli scored the winner.
scored the winner.
Maybe no one thought he would score.
don't
Perhaps that might be the...
Don't mark him.
Do you think that was his plan all along? Balotelli's just been shit all year.
Now he's going to propel.
And now, just for that moment...
Going to lull them.
Yeah,
lull them.
Just
second half of the season.
Yeah.
Oh, watch me.
25 goals. It's going to be tight for fourth now. It's going to be tight. Really hard.
No shit, Sherlock.
We might even
third.
Yeah, we might even catch Man City.
Second.
You raised an issue last night, which I had to, has worried me deeply overnight, and for that I'm disappointed in you.
Who?
If an English club, a Premier League club, right?
Yeah.
Wins the Europa League, thereby securing qualification for the Champions League, does that mean...
You don't have to put your hand up.
Does that mean... Coming to you shortly, Damian. That one of our 4 Premier League qualification spots is taken away? No.
We Rich settled this in the pub afterwards.
Did he?
Yep.
He settled it?
Well, no, because the subject came up.
Yes.
UEFA have confirmed that it's the 4 qualifiers, and whoever wins the Europa League, so it could be 5.
Oh,
have 5.
Okay.
Yes.
And is that the same if we win in Berlin in May and win the Champions League?
I love the question. I love the question. That's a brilliant. I'm accepting that premise.
The dream scenario is we do what Chelsea did to Tottenham, which is they get 4th place and then get knocked out of it because Chelsea fluked winning the Champions League. They should have been stuffed by Bayern Munich and somehow pinched the draw and won it.
The one solace I had for the entire evening. Well, at least Spurs have been knocked out, and Daniel Levy's trying some sort of legal action to get them back in.
He's on the phone to his lawyers.
But we don't know about that.
So you're
saying
saying...
if 2 English clubs win, we could conceivably have 6 teams.
What, so you're saying if we finish 5th, and let's say Spurs or Everton, but let's say Spurs win the Europa League, and we also win the Champions League, there could be 6 English clubs.
Yeah, is that
allowed? Well, you didn't settle that in the pub, because that was a scenario that wasn't foreseen by anyone, us winning the Champions League. But of course, if we beat Monaco...
The longer the Champions League is not taking place, the more Arsenal fans are building up a near certainty that we're going to win it. It's hilarious.
Well, I've only got Monaco. Monaco are easy.
Every time you say it, he goes to me, Porto or Basel. Porto or Basel.
I've got it in my head.
It's a 7-1 shot in the quarters.
I'm thinking that the semi-finals is almost, nailed on, and then it's one of 4 teams at that point.
Yeah, it's anyone's trophy.
Bayern Munich will be tired, and then Real Madrid, I haven't beaten Barcelona, will be knackered. We'll have a fully fit team, including Diaby.
Yeah, Bale
for the finals.
Yeah,
yeah. So
we're all right for that first nightmare scenario.
We are. That's good.
That's
Sorry to worry you. I'm sorry because you said you were tired. Is it a lack of sleep over that?
I think Spurs have got now. They've got to play Fiorentina 3 days before they have to play Chelsea in the League Cup final.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, they're going to rotate.
Seems a bit unfair.
Is it only 3 days?
Is that your heart bleeding?
Yeah. Oh, my heart bleeds.
Yeah.
My heart bleeds. Anyway, the game that we haven't... I'm getting a high-pitched whistle in my ear. Is that a technical issue, or have I finally succumbed to tinnitus? We did have a fantastic performance against the absolute shower of shit that is Aston Villa.
Yeah, but how good were we and how bad were they? This is the question.
It's difficult to assess.
They were terrible, but we played well.
The frustrating thing about losing the derby, apart from the fact that, it's a bit like you wake up in the morning and you haven't, and then you remember it.
Did that actually happen?
It's like getting chucked.
Reach over.
I mean,
reach over.
Woke up in the morning. I did. Lost it.
I'm going to get it tonight. Bugger, I'm not.
Yeah, I'm
going to have to do it myself again.
The bloke who put in
Thank
my...
you for that.
Sorry.
I appreciate that. It's
the guy who put in my TV and my speakers and all my rubbish. That doesn't work. He's a Tottenham supporter.
Oh, really?
Oh, dear.
And he's I'm not a big Facebook person, as you know, but anyway, I noticed that he had posted, Arsenal, you were comprehensively outplayed. I composed about 90 things.
Did you post any of them?
No.
Best not.
Walked away.
Dignity.
Just
dignity.
Just take it.
Yeah, quite.
Just the very fact that I would never even consider writing that if we'd been Tottenham.
Yeah.
But he still did a few drafts. Anyway.
Mentally, it occupied me for about an hour. I thought,
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? Pretend I don't give a shit about this? This is absolutely killing me.
Yeah.
This is killing me.
But they've had to put up with that for 20 years.
Yeah.
The best part of 20 years.
Yeah, I reckon
But
Bless.
in recent years,
Bless
we
is
had a
the good
2-0
one.
lead at the Emirates and lost 3-2. We lost a 4-2 lead. Didn't we?
In the injury time.
I've seen too much of them jumping around celebrating during games against
There's been a
us.
bit too much of that.
I don't like it.
Yeah, but we've beaten them
I
5-2
don't
twice.
like it.
Yeah, well, none of us like it.
It's a great leveller. The derby.
We have beaten them 5-2. We have beaten them 5-2.
Twice in a
We
row.
had a lot of fun saying, what time is it? Said that for about a year, didn't we?
Exactly. We got a lot of
Every
mileage
time
out of
it was 5-2.
You know.
Someone went to a Tottenham fan somewhere and said, what time is it?
Yeah.
And he went 5-2.
It's great. Did it on a train on the way to Manchester one time. Some Tottenham fan. It was great.
Almost
fun.
willing them to score 2 in the hope that we will get 5. But
Yeah.
no, we did very, very well against Villa, and we had a very good performance there at home to Stoke, a good performance at Manchester City, although their subsequent results have made it look a bit less good.
We were on a good run. Good run.
3 wins out of 3 with a clean sheet. First 3 back-to-back wins we've had, 1 in the Cup. And we went to Tottenham, got the early goal, and really thought, and then it was like a boxing match where you think, hang on a minute,
We're getting
punch
it
us
quite
in the
hard.
face again.
Yeah.
Oh, ow.
Ozil's volley was beautiful.
Oh,
Nicely
it was.
taken.
And
He makes
Giroud's
it look
pass for him, exquisite. It was a pass.
Yeah.
I know I meant to be
was
the
not a pass.
positive one.
It was
a
not a
pass.
pass.
It was a pass.
And he had his toe was offside. They made a huge
Oh,
deal of
Didn't
that.
they make a big deal of it?
BT's.
You have to say. Fletch and Sav.
Sorry.
David, please.
Really?
Sorry.
Don't put me in a difficult position.
BT's, but what a
I'll just
channel.
talk to Damian. for a moment. Fletch and Sav.
I don't want. I
I've
can't
never seen
watch
it. Honestly, never seen
This
it.
is a new low. They sit in silly little dugout chairs, like those Recaro chairs.
I don't like those Recaro chairs.
Stupid little dugout
Those
chairs
of us
that
wide of the
swivel.
hip, they're not comfortable.
Savage goes on about how he's a legend all the time.
Does he?
This is his running joke. I'm a legend. I'm a legend. I'm a legend. You're
wanker.
You're boring. It's just boring.
Yeah.
you
Is
know?
it ex-footballers? Honestly, I've never
Well,
seen
they
this.
quite often have Paul Scholes on the sofa. Or
Chirpy now, isn't it? Chirpy, Paul Scholes.
Weirdly,
Yeah.
they had Gordon Strachan for our game. And what he was doing has nothing to do with Arsenal.
No.
Scholes looks at them like you two
Yeah.
are half-wits. I mean, Scholes looks at everyone like that.
He does,
It's his
doesn't
kind of
he?
default position.
He does.
And sometimes I think, he's a grumpy sod. And sometimes I think, you're bang on here, Scholes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
two are half-wits. And Fletch just kept going on and on and on about how...
The toe.
Ozil's toes, though. Technically, toes. It was over the line. What are you talking
They
about?
did go on about it quite a bit.
What are you talking about,
yeah,
you lunatic?
Yeah.
He's level, right? The linesman's got a millionth of a second to call it, and he's level and he's scored. Goal. It's a goal. They kept showing the line on the pitch.
Yeah.
I saw
They ran the line across to where like
Those
it was the finish
graphics.
line in 100 metres, and there was Ozil's big toe, suspiciously the closest body part to goal. I mean,
Well,
it
that
was
was the
really beyond anything the human eye could ever comprehend.
In a millisecond, but that was the bit that he scored the goal with. That's the point they were making. He scored it off his toe, and the toe was offside. If it had come off his knee, the knee was onside. They have to look at individual body parts now for offside.
That graphic-
It
It's not
seems
even two
ridiculous.
9-year-olds have been given a show.
That graphics package costs a lot, and
They gotta
what with
use it.
Ian Stone's wages, the
And
budget on the
they've got,
football.
toe cam.
they've got a sofa. They've got these 2 Recaro chairs. They've got a sofa. They've decorated the set with pictures on the wall. Some poor bastards have got to go down to White Hart Lane and decorate one of their
They do.
poxy executive boxes to look like no one's living room, carrying that sofa up. How many flights of stairs now? Well, we won't go that way. Back a bit, you're in. No, yeah, don't scrape the paint. All right, forward. Get that sofa into every
think-
executive box.
No.
Someone's got to drive it in a van
Each,
and lug it up to the boxes. I mean, it's the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen in your life.
Each executive box at each ground now has a sofa.
They have to
which
send
is
the sofa.
kept.
I think
All
they
had
must
one.
send the sofa in advance, and the poxy little swivel chairs,
who's
and
organising
the
the
stupid
sofa?
pictures. And I look behind Savage, and on the wall is a picture of Savage.
Yeah.
It's just like his own house. I imagine to be a whole house made up of mirrors and pictures of himself.
It is. I've seen Savage's cribs.
Well,
Yeah.
the programme is a shower of shit, and then they wheel on Michael Owen. Michael Owen has gone from being everyone's favourite to being the most boring man in the history of speaking.
Terrible.
When he ran through against Argentina in '98,
We all loved
him as if he was our own tiny 5-year-old. Because
Yeah.
that's what he
Oh,
looked like.
'cause he was- yeah. Yeah.
And when he cheated for a penalty in 2002,
We turned up.
we loved him even more because
Yeah.
he's done them. You
Against
see, we all went all racist
Argentina.
against the Argentines. That's what they do. There you are. Have that handball. Have that Maradona in your face. We were all like that.
Stick that up your junta.
We were.
Yeah.
When
Stick that up in Junta. Exactly.
Bex drove it in, didn't he?
Yeah.
Sweet. We
Great
forgot.
moment.
We
Holding the
forgot.
shirt.
We still remembered that when he blew the penalty 2 years later against France. We let him off.
Yeah.
But now,
He is tedious.
it's a disaster.
Yeah.
Disaster. And sometimes when they're doing the commentary, if it's Ian Dark, Robbie Savage keeps calling him Dark.
I noticed that. Alexander said to me, "Can he say that?"
Are you allowed to say Dark?
No,
Yeah.
apparently not.
The Association of Black Lawyers. Straight on the facts.
Benedict Cumberbatch said Dark. Did I just call him Cumberbitch?
You did.
Yeah, let's stay with that. Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
said Dark. Are you being absolutely English?
No, because I taped the Brighton Arsenal game.
That was BT as well.
Yeah, and that was BT, and so I watched that afterwards because it was quite odd being at the stadium in the away end at the Brighton, and Savage is he's on exasperated from the beginning, so he's on 11. Even for a throw-in in
He
the
should have
first
put him
minute.
in the stand.
Yeah.
That's what he should have put it, kicked him off, and put him in the stand.
There's a huge deal about you've got to harass people and kick them and harass them.
And he's got
be
nowhere to
annoying.
go.
No.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
He's
yeah.
just
0 to 60 in 1 second, and then where do you go from there?
Every game is improved by turning the commentary off.
Yeah.
Please, can they not, in their £10 billion deal or whatever they've done, or £5 billion deal, can you not now have a facility on your television where you can have the crowd noise only?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and-
they do talk about that.
Or
Just the-
Alistair McGowan.
Just the
maybe.
crowd noise, not Alistair McGowan.
Oh, sorry.
We were talking beforehand.
What?
But Alistair McGowan does an extremely good Stephen Merchant. And he does a Nigel Pearson stone.
He does do an excellent Nigel Pearson.
But
yeah.
I don't know, I don't
and
want-
the Steve
I don't want
Bruce,
to-
Johnny
to die
Morris.
for.
If he did Nigel Pearson talking to Stephen Merchant at half time, that would be more entertaining.
That's commentary.
Just the crowd noise. Just the crowd noise cranked up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have that in your living room. Because
We'd
it's a
have
bit
that.
weird when the sound's down and there's nothing.
No, you don't like that. It's just you can't watch
What
football
you
like
want,
that.
you want pitch side mics. You want to hear...
Yeah, the
Want to hear
crowd.
the swearing?
I would love to have the ref mic'd like they do in the rugby.
Oh, yeah.
I would like that. It's the only reason I watch the rugby.
Righty said that, by the way, the other
You
day
know?
about Mike.
But they mic the ref, didn't they, in the Arsenal game?
They
Arsenal
Famously,
Millwall, yeah.
Yes.
They mic the ref.
And Tony Adams was
Tony
having
Adams
a little
going,
word.
you effing cheat, you effing cheat. They
Yeah.
said we can't. And it was David Ellery, the Harrow school
Yeah.
master.
But
You
wasn't it
cheating
that...
bastard, wasn't it? And he said, "I might be a bastard, but I'm not a cheat."
Wasn't,
That's in fact what it was.
but hadn't Millwall been tipped off? Millwall
about
had
that
been
game?
tipped off before the game that the referee was mic'd up, and Arsenal hadn't been.
Oh, so Millwall
So
were minding
we were
their
all...
P's and
Oh,
Q's.
I
David
see.
Hillier was going...
I didn't know that.
But all the Mill, unlucky ref, or they were.
Well,
all
it's
sort
one
of,
way to.
Yeah.
It would change that culture of referee abuse. My brother-in-law plays for a pub team in the northeast.
I mean, that's all you need to say.
I went down
really.
there with my
Northeast.
beloved wife and family, and we watched him play. It was a cup final.
You don't love her that much if you take her down and watch a pub team.
No, she took me.
Oh, okay.
It was her brother playing.
Oh, all right, fair enough.
And it was a nice day when the kids needed a walk. Anyway.
Walk round the pitch.
Don't walk round the pitch. Don't get scythed down by a massive Geordie coming off the field. Because when they come off the field, they come off hard.
They're big.
Anyway, the point of the story is the abuse the referee got was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, really, you did think, why on earth does he
Why
drive
would you
down
do that?
there and
Yeah.
park his car and put his little kit on
Loves the game.
and run and get his whistle out?
Loves the game.
He's memorised the laws and
Yeah.
you've got to do a test to be able to do it and all that. And there he is, he blows his whistle and almost immediately
They're on him.
Yeah.
see you next
Well-
Tuesday and all this. And from the touchline as well, all the subs are calling him this, that and the other, the manager. And as far as I could see, I've watched, and really a lot of football matches in my life, in my wasted life. He didn't do anything wrong, the bloke. He didn't give a bad decision that he couldn't. I mean, really,
Yeah.
the standard of football was shocking.
Yeah.
Right? I
Well,
mean,
yes.
it's entitled to turn around to them and say, you're going to go, what I do? You want to think about, can you trap it, you fat arsehole?
Now that would be funny.
Now that
That's
you'd
what
like to
maybe
see.
that's what they need up there in the northeast is some
Yeah.
referees from Essex.
But the referee,
Just to take the piss.
the last 11-a-side game I played, the referee said to us, I don't mind listening to tackles and all the rest of it, but if anybody swears at me, they're off. And he told people, and nobody swore at him.
Yeah, no.
Because it wasn't allowed, and you just thought, all right, I won't swear at the referee. Not that I was going to.
I'd like crowd noise and the ref mic'd. Then it would be really interesting watch. I'd
Yeah.
really like it. I'd like
That would work.
Well, but didn't Sky did experiment with they had bloody Fan Zone, didn't they?
Oh, Fan Zone's terrible. Fan Zone, I can't
But
watch
also, there used to be just a commentator, so that was all right. It would be Motti or Barry.
Now you have to
Gates,
co-commentator
Tony Gutt.
as well.
What's wrong with just a commentator? Why do you have to have this bloke chirruping on, telling you what you've just seen?
Well, a good one.
Just seen it. He's had a shot there and it wasn't very good.
The
shit.
The thing
There
is,
are some
What he
good
wanted to do there was a better shot. Did he?
I like Gary Neville. I genuinely want to know.
Sentences we never thought we'd hear. Like my Tottenham mate, never thought he'd say, Arsenal, you were comprehensively outplayed. He never thought he'd have that combination of words.
like Gary Neville?
I like Gary Neville.
Yeah.
I do, and but I genuinely want to hear during a game.
Do you know what I like?
Who's that?
Jimmy Armfield.
Jimmy Armfield.
Jimmy
Yeah.
Armfield.
Jimmy
Armfield's great.
Armfield, I like.
We need 80-year-olds.
He doesn't say too much.
No, he
No.
does enough.
He
Does
says
enough.
just enough.
Of course.
He's a lovely voice he's got, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
It's like your uncle.
It's a nice
Yeah.
voice.
It's like your uncle. It's a nice
Peter
voice.
Jones
like-
used to have a nice voice. Has he got a nice voice?
Yeah.
Tell me, Chris is a radio producer. This is important. Is it a nice thing to hear coming out? Michael Holding.
Oh,
Really? What a voice.
Lovely
Yeah.
voice.
What a voice he's got. Perfect choice
Yeah.
for commentary, right? Michael Owen? No.
hideous voice.
Robbie Savage?
Oh, really?
Stan Collymore? No.
No.
No. Thrice. No. Someone must have a nice voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Find that one.
the first requirement.
Find that
really.
one. Yeah.
That's true. What about how good was Righty last night, by the way, at half time?
He was a laugh.
He was very funny.
He slagged off the Leicester fans.
Yeah.
Called
Called the Tottenham fans bastards. He was talking about abuse he's had.
Yeah.
Abuse he's had
He was settling
over the
it.
years.
Yeah.
And now he played. Do you remember when he broke the scoring record against Bolton, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was. Yeah.
And he pulled off his shirt before he broke it to
Yeah.
reveal the number on the vest.
179.
But he'd gone about 4 games without a goal. And he missed chances,
Against
including hitting the
Spurs.
bar against Spurs. And Andy Linden, a lifelong Spurs fan, did say that vest must have stunk a bit by the time he finally pulled it out. He's been wearing it for a month. It's quite funny to
Very funny.
keep watching it and putting it back on again. And he's saying he missed it. He said, I'd love to have scored it against them. I had chances and I missed. And the first time I'd ever really seen him miss a chance, we thought, that's a goal.
Yeah.
And it was because it was playing on his mind. And
Yeah.
I would have loved to have celebrated in front of those bastards. It was quite
I'd have
fun.
run up and celebrated in front of the Tottenham fans.
He used to get so much stick over there.
Yeah.
Well, it was a few clubs: Leicester, Southampton.
He mentioned Villa Southampton and Leicester.
Yeah.
As grand. I used to love scoring against them.
Settling
winding them
scores
up.
Get a
with
lot-
Ian Wright.
So
And
much
he's telling the
abuse.
Leicester while the Leicester fans are all listening. We just thought that's hilarious.
Well, he was more entertaining than, you know. Who did they have? David Hillier, didn't they? They had recently, and
David Ilya, but
they did at half.
We don't listen to many of them. We listen to Bobby Perez and Burkhardt.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't hear what they're saying.
No, exactly.
Just
But
not interested because
Wright-
everyone's talking.
Wright
That's
and-
Right, Ian.
and,
Wright and Lee Dixon.
Lee Dixon, he used to speak into a microphone.
good little double act.
you see, Lee Dixon, I think, is all right as a co-commentator. But he was the straight man. He was the Ernie to.
Well, you can't. There's not much you can do.
Ian Wright's Eric,
right in
yeah.
full throttle.
The funniest thing
I've
was.
seen it in action.
Embracing strangers.
Yeah, the funniest thing was
Right,
that
Ian
Tayo missed it.
Tayo was getting the minstrels, and he was stood behind someone who demanded an explanation of every pizza topping that we had in.
Oh, so he
round.
missed the whole thing.
Yeah. So
Right.
can you imagine Tayo just get on with it?
Now,
Yeah.
can I just run through a few things that people have sent me?
Oh yeah. Are we doing requests now?
Alec Wilson
Would
on
like
Twitter
to hear
says,
ABC, The Look of Love.
can we
For his girlfriend on her 18th birthday.
can we do a Tuba Akpom song to Sex Bomb? And I think Alec, yes, I think we probably could.
I'm liking it.
Yeah, but that's good.
I'm liking it.
Akpom. I've got. He's playing for us because the rest have gone on loan. Tuba Akpom. I have to say, I did find it difficult when you're 2-1 down at Spurs with 5 minutes to go. You need a goal desperately. You're looking down for Lucas Podolski, and there's Tuba who's played 15 seconds and hasn't scored a goal for us. And suddenly I think, hang on a minute, what's happened to us here?
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Bit unfortunate.
Can I just quickly say about the Sanchez song?
What's the
Well, because, you know, obviously when I go away to away games a lot, you know, and I was hanging out with the away fans at the Brighton game, there's this Sanchez to the Human League.
Yeah.
Don't you want me Sanchez?
Yeah.
Alexis
Where's
Sanchez,
oh,
baby.
But
Alexis
Keith actually told me one that it was
Sanchez,
the Proclaimers. I will walk 500 miles to Alexis Sanchez, which I think is much better.
I would walk.
Well, no, I will run 500 miles and I will score 500 goals. Alexis Sanchez. I'm judging
Doesn't
by
scan.
the look.
It doesn't
I'm not
scan.
sure about that.
Theo Walcott does. Theo Walcott. That one.
I'm liking it.
Alexis Sanchez.
I had an unlucky Theo last night.
You did, and I called you up on that.
I knew it was coming. I could see him dribbling towards someone.
I actually
Thought,
stopped myself.
He's going to lose that.
I stopped myself.
Unlucky Theo!
I really find it quite
Still got it, son!
restricting. I think it comes in my head and I think, no, I won't do that. I'll just get loads of stick.
Now, the Liverpool fans, my mate Greg, as you know, is a big Liverpool fan, and they had a very disappointing, narrow defeat to Chelsea in the League Cup semi-final. But they leavened their disappointment by singing, "The Elephant Man, the Elephant Man, Diego Costa, the Elephant Man."
Well, that's a bit unfair, but very funny.
The Elephant Man, Diego Costa, the Elephant Man.
I'm not a
Elephant Man.
You're
human. I'm a human being.
Diego Costa, the Elephant Man.
And
He's an
Fred
elephant
West
man.
as well. He looks a bit like Fred West.
Fred West, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
There's less humour in that.
You're so kind.
Murtasaka, it turns out, is the translation of Murtasaka is mind reader. He reads your mind.
Wow.
At
He didn't read
half-time-
Harry Kane's bloody mind, did he, though?
Nothing to do with him.
Not his job to mark him, apparently.
Yeah.
So it must have been someone's. At half time, Chesney comes on the pitch at half time
Yeah.
and warms up with the subs. And he was doing a lot of Rabonas last night,
Oh,
or
yeah.
Ribenas, as I call it when he does it, because it never goes where he intends it to. And all the subs look at him like, well done, now you can fetch that.
Yeah.
Because he can Rabona it a long way. But
Right.
do you think he'll play Chesney against Middlesbrough? I expect
I
he will.
think he probably will.
Yes, the FA Cup. He'll play some reserves. And
We've got 6
Chesney
clear
is a
days
reserve.
before Crystal Palace away, which will be a tricky fixture.
It is a tricky fixture, but we won there last year.
We need to win it.
Yeah.
We need to win all our games now. We've lost too many. We've lost 6 already. We can't lose any more. There's 14 games left. Is that right? Or
We
13?
went through them
14.
last night, and I've got us down for winning them all.
Have you?
13 games. We've
Strangely.
only got one.
Blimey.
We
All right,
have played everyone, bar Man United, Everyone away. We've been away to all of them.
We've got Liverpool
Chelsea,
home.
Man City, Liverpool, Tottenham, West Ham, Southampton, all the teams around us. We've been to all their away grounds. We've only got to go to Old Trafford. That's a tricky away fixture. Other than that, our away games don't look too bad.
11 out of the last 16 are against teams in the bottom 8, something like that.
We've got a...
Is this an easy run-in? Is this what you're trying to
An
say?
easy running, yeah.
So we have to. We have to.
They have to win 14.
The Champions League next season is 50 mil. What we need is Tottenham not in that, so that they have to sell
Harry Kane.
Harry Shearer. I diddly home neighbour. The other voice that Harry Shearer does is Mr. Burns.
Mr. Burns, is that right?
I said to Katie, I said, what does Mr. Burns say? What's one of the things he says? And she goes, like taking candy from a baby. But then he can't take the candy from the baby because he's not strong enough.
Yeah.
Smithers.
I can't do that.
That's Harry Shearer.
Yeah.
The comedy legend and voice of so many of those Simpsons characters. We got Middlesbrough. I think that we might see Gabriel,
I'd hope so.
eye patch and everything.
Yeah. Let's play a few reserves. Kieran Gibbs will be back in, I
Kieran
think.
Gibbs, I hopefully will play.
Good little interview with Gibbs in the Standard yesterday.
Was there?
Talking about competition in the squad.
And he, rather than the sort of throwing an epi, he's just saying it. Nacho's surpassed him at the moment.
He's playing really well, Nacho.
Nacho
I'm
was very
pleased
good.
with
He was
Monreal.
our first toast actually last night.
Yeah.
Oh, really? In the pub?
Yeah.
Right. They do. I went into
Bit of reflection on the
I went
game.
into
Sad state of affairs.
I went in to buy a shirt in the.
Got £42 million playmaker, a £35 million centre forward, and a
Well-
volley from Theo Walcott. Then he bursts in it, and our best player's the fullback.
I spoke to the in the club shop. They haven't sold a single Monreal shirt.
No.
Not one.
Not one. Nobody's bought. Why would anyone buy a Monreal shirt?
No.
Oh, I might get one now.
I'm going to go and buy one now.
Go on then.
Coquelin, still doing it for you?
Yes.
You were
Just about.
raving about the
No,
cock
I
after
really
the City
like
game.
Coquelin. He was fantastic, but
You do love
he
cock.
can't expect. I do. I really. love
Rositzky
it.
was bollocking people last night.
Good.
Rositzky bollocked Bella in.
That's what we could have used a bit of
And
against
he
Tottenham.
bollocked Coquelin.
Yeah.
Walcott made a run. Coquelin chipped it towards him, and Walcott stopped his run.
That's
and the ball
right.
drifted out of play.
Yeah.
And Rositzky just bollocked.
Yeah, but if you're
Coquelin,
gonna-
but Coquelin gave him a mouthful back, and then they're both standing in front of one another with their arms spread wide, shouting at each other. Oh dear.
No, a little bit of anger is all right. I think I don't mind.
Oh, shit pass.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's just stepped back. He stepped back in. He's our holding midfield player now, and he's in the team. But he's not going to have a great game every time.
Yeah, I thought he was quite good against Tottenham.
Listen, he's got a lot.
He
of
was
brownie
overrun.
Points. He's got a lot of brownie points for Man City, in my opinion. Loads of brownie points.
Well,
So
yeah, he's all right.
he is.
I'll see you